Chapter 1 Introduction. This book will get you started in the sport of fly fishing. It touches on the basic methods, gear, and strategies you'll need to start casting a fly to a fish. There are many advanced areas that we'll skim over or ignore completely in this lesson. Fly fishing is an age-old tree of tradition and knowledge, with deep roots and thousands of branches. Reading this book will give you a good sense of the tree itself. For simplicity, we'll stick to some of the most popular forms and features of this incredibly rewarding pastime. We'll fish on moving water, rivers, creeks, and streams. Once you can fly fish moving water, still water fishing on lakes, for instance, follows quite naturally. We'll focus on fishing the dry fly, which floats on top of the water. It resembles a flying insect that is recognizable to fish as a food source. You cast out the dry fly. It lands and floats down the stream before your eyes. Then, if you are lucky, you'll witness the spectacle of a fish rising to inspect and perhaps take the fly from the surface. Dry fly fishing is considered the most rewarding and classic form of fly fishing, and has been so for more than 300 years. Other flies, such as nymphs, leeches, and streamers, are fished to sink down to where the fish are. Dry flies are fished to entice the fish up to the surface of the water. We will hone in on waters that contain primarily trout, a cold water fish, and the ultimate challenge for most fly fishers. All species of trout are found in most northern hemispheres, and even some southern ones, such as New Zealand, which boasts some of the finest brown trout fishing in the world. Because both men and women participate in fly fishing, fly fisher is the term we will use when referring to the individual fly fishing student. We practice catch and release in this book, and on the river. This means putting all caught fish back into the water alive and well. Fresh fish can be enjoyed from the supermarket. Fly fishing is about more than a meal. It is about taking up a great hobby, perfecting a skill, and matching wits with a worthy opponent. You may get hooked on fly fishing. It offers drama, suspense, adventures in nature, and jolts of adrenaline. You may have to miss work or appointments. You may find too that this book reaches beyond fly fishing and into the realms of science, art, and even philosophy. Because this is a sport of both mind and matter. These forays are unavoidable. Fly fishing should be studied in stages, which, much like learning music, include both theory and practice. You will learn how to tie knots and cast a fly, and you practice. You will also learn how to stroll along a riverbank, flipping over rocks to find bugs, studying the flow of currents, and listening to the nuanced sounds of moving water. You will need to know something about insects and weather, seasons and spawning cycles, and eventually, the phases of the moon. Let's start by learning how to cast a fly upon the water.